wanted to share a really important idea about growing your high intensity training business. I was interviewed by Discover Strength CEO Luke Carlson last week for episode 500 on the High Intensity Business podcast, which was a real honor. I'm very grateful for Luke taking time to do that. And it was so much fun. And I'm obviously so grateful for all of the kind testimonials that Luke had collected to share with me on the podcast. So thank you to all of you. It was really great to hear just how helpful, I guess, the show and the content and all the services we provide have been to you in growing your hit businesses. So during the podcast, Luke asked me about, marketing, what I think is the most effective way to grow a hit business. And whilst I think my answer was true, I wasn't fully satisfied with it. And I want to expand more here because I felt I was just trying to be very succinct during the podcast. Now, the reality is the biggest problem in our space is the biggest challenge, the most common thing that comes up when new people join high intensity business or when I have conversations with hit business owners online or events or whatever is leads. I want more leads, more clients for my business. The irony of this is that many of you are just not doing any marketing. Right? You're not doing enough promotion, or if you are, it's kind of haphazard. There's no consistency. There's no system. Business is simple, but hard, right? Simple, not easy, right? It's just doing the consistent actions every day that are going to grow the business. So in a more tactical sense, what I mean is allocate time every working day or more where you're just spending time on promotional activities, creating content, uh, reaching out to people, cold email, paid ads, fill in the blank, right? Events, networking. And if you do that, you will generate lots of leads for your business if you do it consistently over time, whether it's you or a team member or multiple team members. And the answer I gave Luke was, I think warm reach outs is a really kind of underestimated and important tactic for growing your business. That's in the beginning for a new business owner, that's reaching out to everyone they know, friends, foes, and family, and reaching out to your entire warm network, all your connections on LinkedIn, all your followers on Instagram, all the people on your email database, everyone in your phone, reaching out, checking in, building that relationship, ask them about their fitness, ask them about their problems, their goals, and obviously invite them in for a free workout or a consultation. And even for more advanced hit business owners, I still think it's really important to emulate this kind of activity, but it looks slightly differently. I've locked my computer, so I'm just opening it again. So for a more advanced hit business owner, it's going to be just having a process around generating leads, so adding more leads to the database, but then consistently reaching out to those on a personal level, right? So it might be that you're producing content on, say, Instagram, which many of you do very well. But then having some kind of system where you or a team member is actually reaching out to your followers and building relationships and inviting them in for consultations and having a system around that and doing it consistently. That is really important. So if I just elaborate maybe on what that process might look like, because I appreciate it can sound quite amorphous. Like, what am I exactly doing? So it might be that from a content perspective, you use a framework like PAS or PAS, which is just simply problem, agitation, solution. So for example, you could just do some content where you're a talking head, like I'm doing right now, or a post or a reel, which is what this is. This is a longer video reel. And you could focus on, say, shoulder injury. And the problem could be, you speak to the problem straight away, and that's called a hook at the start of your video. So you could say something like, having a painful shoulder or an injured shoulder really makes life difficult. And then you can agitate that pain by then saying, it makes it so hard to do daily activities in life, like pick up your kids or pick up your grandkids or put the shopping in the boot of the car, these kinds of things, right? So you're just kind of like relating to them and they're kind of nodding along saying, yes, all those daily activities are really hard for me because of my bad shoulder. And then you go into the solution. So you can say, well, did you know that strength training has been shown to not only alleviate pain in the shoulder, but actually really improve function and make all these daily activities so much easier. So if that sounds interesting to you, why don't you drop us a DM or click the link in bio and schedule a free introductory workout, right? You don't even have to have a CTA. That's called the call to action at the end in every single piece of content. But the more of this content you'll produce, the more you're going to provide. You're providing value and you're going to build up a greater following and you will get the occasional DM as well over time. But it's really more about building trust, building value. And by the way, your existing clients go see that content too. So they're going to get value. And I think they are going to be retained better as a result of that. But also you're going to build up more followers, more people that like and comment. And then all you need alongside that kind of content system where you're producing videos like that is just a system where you've got yourself or a team member and reaching out to people that follow you, people that leave a like or a comment on that content, and then building up those conversations and that relationship. I do believe that in an age where AI is really being like overly utilized, being personal and reaching out and building those real relationships is actually very effective right now. Because people are getting a lot of like, kind of AI content now. It just feels very impersonal, I guess. Um, in addition to this, I know this is a long video, but hopefully this is valuable. In addition to this, something that Luke said at the end of our podcast, which was a Hormozy quote, but that I think is so important and I reflect on a lot of the time, all the time, in fact, which is to do 100 primary actions. So again, getting tactical when we're spending that time doing our promotion, what are we doing? How much are we doing? And Hormozy's got this idea where he calls it rule of 100, which is 100 primary actions every day, 100 reach outs, 100 cold emails, $100 on paid advertising, 100 minutes creating content. That doesn't mean a 100-minute long video. It can mean 100 minutes preparing, 20 minutes preparing, and then 40 minutes shooting a video or whatever it is, right? Or vice versa. And so you can scale those up and down accordingly based on your business size. But I like that as an idea. Now, obviously 100 is a lot and you might need to do that. And what I see in our communities, when I, work with a lot of business owners, is they can do a lot less than 100 reach outs to still get really good results. And part of that is down to skill level. How good are you at just building those relationships up and inviting those people in for free workouts? And then also how good is your offer? And I think we have a real advantage in high intensity training where we have just a very valuable, attractive offer in terms of the efficiency of our sessions and just the benefits and the value that we provide is just super compelling. So I see some really interesting ratios. I see sometimes, good results from like 20 to 30 reach outs a day, which is very, very, very doable. And there's really no excuse if you're a small business, you're just getting started, you have ample time. You really should be spending the bulk of your time doing this type of activity. And when we see that in our communities, we see amazing results there. So I encourage if you're struggling to get leads, then that's definitely something you should be focused on, right? And frankly, I'm sharing this with you because I need this as a reminder to myself just as much. When I do this stuff consistently, I get wonderful results and I'm not always consistent. So this is really a reminder to me as well. And the reason I'm being more bullish on promotion as a primary activity in growing a hit business is because it takes time to get good. Right now, we know I've been talking about recently how important the workout is in the client experience and how if you nail those things, you're not only going to retain the customer, but you're also going to generate all those referrals and grow your business. All of that is true. But what I've noticed is it just takes a lot more time than people think to get there. And people come into this with a different kind of skill level, a different talent level, and you get there, quick. Some you get there quickly and some might take more time. But all of us should be focused on those primary activities to market the business. And then all the rest of our time is focused on sharpening that sword, getting really good at the workout, getting really good at client experiences, which are then obviously going to over time enable you to get better retaining that customer and generate referrals there as well. And between those two things, between doing that content and that reach out method that I very briefly overviewed and just getting really great at the workout, delivering great customer experiences, you'll probably have all the leads that you ever need in your business. And frankly, I think many of you would be quite happy with $1 million business or slightly below that, or maybe slightly over that. And with just these tactics, maybe even less, right? Maybe even just doing reach outs in isolation. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. You will have enough leads, right? And I think most of us are actually scattered over too many things. And as a result, we are inconsistent. We get overwhelmed. We stop marketing. So just by simplifying, having a couple of things that we do and staying really focused and consistent, you will get there over time. And you'll have all the leads that you ever need to grow your business. So if that is interesting to you, if you would like a free, simple blueprint to show you exactly how to do the content and exactly how to do the reach outs alongside, then click the link in bio and you get access to a course that I put together with Dave Bess. And I promise you, if you execute on this course and you do it consistently, you will have more leads than you can handle in your hit business. Thanks for listening.